Well, dear viewers, wherever you are, it's another chance for you to watch good English on Willice English videos. But remember, I'm Willice Ochieng, talking to you all the way from Nyanza region in Kenya. And on this video, we have to explore the names by which letters of the English alphabet are called or identified. So, when we talk about a letter, what do we mean? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What is a letter? A letter is a written or a printed sign that represents a sound in speech. A written or a printed sign that represents a sound in speech. So, when we talk about letters of the English alphabet, do we also understand what an alphabet is? An alphabet is a fixed arrangement of letters or symbols that are used to write a language or used for writing a language. Clear? Well, now let's explore letters of the English alphabet by their names. But I have to remind you that the ones that I'm holding are a bit tricky for many people when it comes to saying them. Can you try? Can you try to say them? The first one, second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the last one? Well, I'll cover them for you. Just on this video, you'll get them clearly so that when you are teaching or when you are learning, or any other person who loves good English would understand. Like when you are spelling a word, you know how to call those letters of the English alphabet by their right names. Clear? Good. Now, let's begin with the first letter. Many people innocently say letter A, which is not the case. You say A with that slight vowel glide. A, letter A. That is the way to pronounce or to say the name of that letter. That is the name of the letter, the first one, A. Clear? Good. Now, let's come to the second letter. You say B. You simply say B. Letter B. Clear? Great. Now, the third one is right here. You simply say letter C. Letter C. You can see the phonetic transcription or the way I have written the name of this letter. It's right here. If you understand them, you simply say letter C. C. Then the next one is right here. And how do you say it? Simple. You say D. Letter D. Then we move on and we have the next one as letter what? Letter E. E, the long sound E. That is the name of this letter. So, let's move to the next one. And it's right here. You simply say letter what? Letter F. Letter F. Now, let's move to the next one. It's also right here. How do you call this letter? You say G. Letter G. Now, when you are using G, E, F, A, B, C, D. Please understand. I want you to understand that those are names by which the letters of the English alphabet are called or identified. The names, their names. Just like you, dear viewer, you have your name. If you are in a group and somebody calls your name, people will know it is you. And also in that alphabet, the English alphabet, that fixed arrangement of letters, you'll find that when you say A, somebody would know which letter you are talking about. So those are names by which they are identified and are the ones I'm giving you on this video. Clear? Great. But now it's that tricky letter. Many people innocently say letter H. H, no. You say letter H. H. That is the name of this letter. But locally or many non-native speakers find themselves saying letter H. So please, just say H. Just like in the abbreviation HOD. Not HOD. Head of department. H-O-D. Then H-I-V. Don't say H-I-V. H, no. That glottal sound, avoid it. You just say H as you call this letter. And you also say P-H-D. P-H-D, not P-H-D that we commonly hear around us and innocently use, especially in various parts of the world. Clear? Good. Now, let's move to the next one. It's fairly simple. You simply say letter I. I. Then, the next one, you say letter J. J. That is the way to say the name of that letter. The next one, fairly simple. K. K. That is the name. And then the name of this one is simply L. Letter L. Don't say Elu. Letter Elu, no. Eru, no. You simply say letter L. L. Can you say that? Good. Now, let's move to the next one. Also very simple. You say M. Letter M. That is the way to call this letter. Now, let's move to the next one. Also simple. You say letter what? N. Letter N. That is the way to handle it. Then, the next one is fairly tricky. The next letter is right here. Fairly tricky. We always find ourselves saying O, as if the name of this letter takes the long sound O. That is not the case. You say letter O. O. There is that slight glide of the vowel sounds, the two vowel sounds O to U. O. Can you say O? O. Letter O. That is the way to call that letter by its name. Then the next one is simple. You say P. Letter P. Then from P, we move to letter Q. Q. And that is simply the name of this letter. And as I said, a letter is a written or printed sign that represents a sound in speech or a speech sound. Clear? Good. Now, the next one has two acceptable names. You can call it in two ways. That is this letter. You can say though that one is not very common among non-native speakers, but it's acceptable. You can call this letter R. But the most common one is right here. You can also say R. Letter R. So both are acceptable as alternatives. Clear? Good. Now, let's move to the next letter. The next letter is right here. You say letter S. S. Simple and clear. Letter S. Then, the next letter is also fairly simple, and you say letter T. T. So, get it right. Then, after T, we have letter U. U. Letter U. The name of this letter is U. Then, from letter U, we go to letter V. Letter V. That is the name of this letter. V. Then from letter V, you go to a tricky letter for many people. This letter is called W. Letter W. You can say letter W or W. Those ones are also acceptable. But you simply say letter W. Can you say W? If you say W, don't worry. To err or to make a mistake is normal as a human being. But the name is W, W, or W. Clear? Good. Now, let's move to another one, and that is the next one. You say X. Simply X. Letter X. Don't say letter eggs, don't say letter eggs, and all that. Just say letter X. X. Clear? Good. Now, let's move to the next one. You say letter Y. Y. Letter Y. And finally, we have the last letter of the English alphabet. And when you call it by name, when you call this letter by name, you simply say Z. Its name, the name by which this letter is identified is simply Z. Z. So when you check a good dictionary or a good dictionary, if you like, you just see in front of that letter, there are those slashes. You'll find those slashes, and in the slashes, you'll get this writing which tells you the name of this letter is Z. Z. Now, do you realize that I'm talking much about names and I'm not talking about sounds of those letters? So, I wanted you to get them clearly that when we say, or in the recitation, A, B, C, D up to Z, we use the names by which the letters of the English alphabet are identified or called. Is that clear? Maybe there is something you want to know more about letters or anything English and you want to reach me. It's very simple. Just send me a short text message. Just send me a message from any part of the world and you would use what I now display. Yes, you can send me a short text message to +254 727 029 159. If you like, +254 029, or I have to explain that one clearly. +254 727 029 159, and I'll always handle it in the subsequent videos on Willice English videos. Otherwise, I have to thank you most sincerely for getting that time. I have to thank you most sincerely for getting time to watch or to view this video. And I now say bye.